Irene Maughan was the first Marshallese person I met when I started working with the Marshallese Health Project here in Dubuque. Irene is a real princess. Her grandfather, maybe great-grandfather, was a king of one of the islands that became the Republic of the Marshall Islands. And she is a very cool princess, cooler than any of the Disney princesses. Marshall Islands is a country. It's a nation. It's not a territory of the United States. It's a whole lot of islands covering a footprint about the size of Texas, but only about 5 or 6 of those islands are habitable. The water's rising, and in 20 or 30 years, climate change will make it still no longer even there. It'll disappear. This is my friend Mary Sampson. Mary and I are the same age. Mary was in 1956 a little girl playing on the beach in Majuro, one of those islands, the one you saw in the picture. And this is what happened. She wasn't right there. She was miles away, but she was catching snowflakes on her tongue as a result of atomic tests like this. There were 76 of these tests, and they amounted to the equivalent of 1.4 Hiroshimas every day for 12 years. Do the math. Okay, in 1958, 4 Quakers got on a sailboat called the Golden Rule and sailed from California, headed for the Marshall Islands. They got about halfway, got arrested by the U.S. Coast Guard because they were going to put themselves right in the middle of the testing area. And they got arrested, they got stopped, and the boat was sank, and it was resurrected again in 2010 by Veterans for Peace, who put it back on the course of nuclear safety. So that's what the boat is doing now. They decided to come on a tour of the eastern part of the United States with the boat, and in October of 2022, they came down the Mississippi River and stopped in Dubuque. So there's pictures here of Marshallese people finally welcoming the Golden Rule, and it was very excited. They were here for 2 days, and people were thrilled. Everyone was crying. It was very sad and very wonderful, very happy. So I signed up to join the crew of the Golden Rule, and in February 2023, this past February, I spent a month as a crew member. There were 2 other crew members. They were both experienced captains. I didn't know a barn door from a barnacle, but they did, so they taught me, and it was great. So there I am at the helm. We all took turns. There were just 3 of us, so we had to share all the tasks, and I was one of the 3 people that got to run the boat, and you steer it. Sometimes you sit on the tiller and steer with your butt, and whatever it takes, whatever's comfortable. There are no ropes on a sailboat, contrary to popular belief. Everything that looks like a rope has another name. So there are lines to hold the boat to the pier. There are shrouds. There are halyards. There's a thing called the sheet that operates the sail, which you think the sail should be the sheet, but it's not. You'd be wrong. Okay, so we sailed. Sometimes we used the engine. We had a diesel engine. Sometimes we used the sails, and we much preferred to go by sail when we could because it was really fun. It was very exciting, and it was a lot less expensive because diesel fuel costs money, and we liked that. We sailed sometimes at night. We used electronic map on an iPad. We used a compass, and we used the stars. So we would line up the course with the star, with the compass, and then find that position on the mast and stick to that for 15 or 20 minutes while we headed out into the night. So that was great. And of course, you can only do that at night. Okay, so this was February. It was Black History Month. And so I was kind of in the birthplace, one of the many birthplaces, I guess, of Black history, along the coast of Georgia and the coast of South Carolina. And here we had a group of students who came along with us for one day. And these kids, triplets in fact, had never been on a sailboat in their life, and they had a chance to experience that. And I would just say that if you ever have the chance to operate a sailboat, push that rudder and make it move, it's a feeling that you can't get anywhere else. We went past the Trident nuclear submarine base at Kings Bay, Georgia. That was part of the mission of our trip. and we showed them our signs and let them know that we were displeased. U.S. is one of 67 nations that has not yet signed the treaty to ban nuclear weapons. I had lots of time to reflect, looking up at the sky, looking down at the water. Part of my job as first mate was to record what was going on, and I had to record the waves, and waves are measured by the height from the valley to the tip and the frequency. So I would say, yeah, the waves were 3 feet today and 4 to 5 seconds apart. That might be an entry. There's me at night in the hold, in the cabin downstairs. We had to use that red light to prevent night blindness from happening with the other crew members who were working upstairs. So that was just one of the precautions. And things I learned: 1, nobody wants nuclear war. 2, everybody wants fair winds and following seas. And most people think that the golden rule is a pretty good idea.